Hey, welcome to SC Custom Designs. We're going to do an episode on clamps. So if you're following SC Custom Designs, and we want to thank you for that, following our projects. We do one video a week or more, and SC Custom Designs has been in business for now 3 years. And we do this on the side, by the way. I'm a QA software guy in the daytime. And so that's that. Please, if you like what you see, subscribe to our channel. We'd appreciate it. We are up to 208 and climbing, and we appreciate. Please leave comments, and we'll get back to your comments, etc. And because we like to share and go back and forth and enjoy the journey together as woodworkers across the world. So that's pretty cool stuff. All right, so if you've been following me, you know that this stack of things in front of you are nested trays that came out of a block of wood. They came out of the middle of this drawer, and these guys here are bandsaw boxes made out of 4x4s. These ones were joined up. You can see we had a little bit of a thing here. I don't know when this happened, but so when I was stacking these guys yesterday, it was so hard to stack these and not knock them over. So for all I know, my cat did this. I'm going to blame the cat. So now I got to figure out where these pieces came from and put them back together. I did mark them back and front. It shouldn't be too hard. So basically, bandsaw boxes, they will go back together, all the pieces, the same way they came apart. And they'll go together perfectly, by the way. So it's only if you sand too much of the edges where they actually came apart that you're going to have a problem. So I did a video, lessons learned making bandsaw boxes, and I think I definitely covered that. So at any rate, what are we doing now? So I said we'd do an episode on clamps. So you can see that I don't have a lot of these clamps. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these guys. Okay, and we have the older style here. Okay, here's the older style. Okay, all right, and then we've got the newer style, which is down here. Now, mind you, this is DeWalt. Okay, but you can see that the newer ones are looking like this. Okay, so they deliver a lot of pressure now, and they're just easier to clamp what you got to clamp. Okay, with a little bit of pressure here versus these older styles. These guys here. And so there you go. So we did not have enough clamps, and I still don't have enough clamps. I just bought like $110 worth of clamps here. And so what do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Just bought 10 more clamps. Because when you start gluing up these guys, you're just going to run out. So you have to get creative with how you're joining up and your projects. So I thought it was a no-brainer. They say money is time and time is money, right? And that is a truth that we'll not be able to escape. And so I just decided it's time to get some more clamps. So we have various styles of clamps, all doing pretty much the same thing, squeezing two pieces of something or other, in this case wood, together. And so there's this style here. This has a longer, wider piece for grabbing. Looks about 3 inches. More material. And then you've got this style here, which you just saw. They're just bigger, longer. Then you got your C clamps and your various other types of clamps like this. Honestly, they don't really get put into action too much. Got some little ones up there, but you just never know when you're going to be using these guys, okay? Then you have even longer ones like this, okay, Irwin. So you can see that Irwin's jumped over as well, and they're making the same one as DeWalt. These are the older style, called quick grip, and honestly, they do not have as much pressure when you finally get to the point where you're joining up your materials, and that can be frustrating. Now, mind you, you don't want to squeeze the glue out, of the project. Otherwise, it's anti-productive. But on the other hand, if I want pressure, this should be my option, not the option of whatever that clamp's going to deliver. So at any rate, so we got quick grip there. We got Master Mechanic, various companies there. And then I went out and I got this guy here, because you're going to find that you're going to need longer lengths. Okay, so far I'm pretty happy with it. We have Irwin, who with this style they're all pretty much do the same thing, except these will reverse, so you can push pieces apart. You can push them apart or clamp them together. So there you go. Then you have this style here, and forgive me, I don't really know the names of them, but you'll recognize the styles. So this guy here I marked up there. He was $49, so $50 for this guy. He's really heavy, and he's good for joining up blocks. So when you're making tables, for example, you're going to want something like that. Okay, so and then you've got your pipe clamps. Boy, they've been faithful through the years. So I've got pipe clamps that are about 5.5 feet long, or 6 feet. And I did pick this kit up once upon a time. I don't know, from a catalog or whatever, but that's great because you can lie these clamps down on your bench and it won't rock back and forth. So that stabilizes the project. Pipe clamps, I mean, I'm kidding, but if I feel like you can move a house with them, when you really need to pull some material together, these pipe clamps are stellar. They're just amazing. So you got your pipe clamps, you got this style clamps, and so on and so forth. Then you got these. These are your old wood clamps. So they definitely have their benefits. One thing that I use this for is, more often than clamping, is actually holding pieces of wood up at my bench so that I could just work on the wood. Then you got these guys here. These here are a shopsmith style. This is specifically made for joining wood together. And you're going to see that you have a block in here, a metal block, and a metal block down there, and it's adjustable. You can move them accordingly. And the great thing about this, let me turn it this way. Nah, it's not going to be good for you. At any rate, it's going to put pressure this way as well as this way. So that's really what you want when you're joining wood together like this. So there's so many. Do you need to have these type of clamps to join up wood? No, you don't. You can. I've seen some folks, as well as myself, back in the day when I didn't have but a few pennies to buy equipment, be very creative with how we join the wood together. We make our own jigs and so on and so forth. So I mean, this is just scratching the surface really with clamps, but to date, I mean, I've been happy with the clamps that I have. And so let's come on back over here. So, and then there's other types of clamps like this. This is from Rockler, and this, I can't say enough about these guys. These really shine when you have to take a piece of wood, 2 pieces of wood, and you can go ahead and drop the wood down in here. Let's turn it this way, like so, in this piece, right? And then they are now joined absolutely square to each other. So you can drop them in there. Now, I used these in a video a year or so ago when I was making a cabinet. And it was quite tall. And, you know, you can't have enough hands, especially when you're like me, you work alone. You can't have enough hands at times. Well, this allowed me to have all four corners joined up, sitting in place. Here on my bench, I was actually inside the unit. And I was able to methodically and carefully join the wood together however I was doing that. I think it was with a glue and a pin gun. And can you do it without them? Of course you can, and I have. But why not get these helpers? These are bandy clamps, also from Rockler. I'm not doing commercials for Rockler or any of these companies. I just use the tools. And so there you go. And then here's Irwin's answer to that, you know, on a smaller scale. So we've got these hand screws here, and the whole idea is to make two pieces come together square. So but these here are really good, and they're strong, and really never have to worry about did things go off and out of square. So I will say though that these, look, you can see here, these break off really easy. I would say, Rockler, come on, make them stronger. I mean, this is useless to me now. I actually have that piece over here, and I have to epoxy. It'll be the second time I've got to, not the same one, but that I have to fix it. And I didn't do anything unreasonable. I just dropped it maybe from here to here, and that was enough to break it. So, you know, I'd rather spend my time paying attention to what I'm doing and not having to pay attention to, is this thing going to break or not? But it is what it is. This is not a complaint session. Don't take it as that, please. It's just I'm giving you the truth. I'm giving you the my opinion of the clamps. So what more can we say about clamps other than I've got to get busy and come down in here, and I've got a lot of sanding, a ton of sanding that I have to do here. And so let me go ahead and get to it. Let us know what your thoughts are, and so on and so forth. So I would say placement, as we're winding down here, placement of your clamps is also critical. You'll notice that I have a simple piece, a board here, you know, and I can just grab this and go put them right into service. And when I'm done, have the discipline to turn back around and put them back over here. So I realized storing them over there was not the answer. So there you go. That being said, those really big clamps, you know, they can stay over there for now until I see some. But this is my productivity bench, right? This is a 16-foot bench that I have. And believe it or not, my challenge is to keep it clean. Keep it tidy, because it's easy just to drop things. And if you're following me, you know that I've done reorgs on the shop, and that's that. And I did 2 or 3 major, and now each time you do a reorg, you'll have a little bit more room. It'll make more sense for you. And I think it's important to visit your shop from time to time and make sure that it's working efficiently for you, that you're not spending a lot of time going to fetch a tool. Naturally, if there's a tool that you use like this, I haven't even used it yet. Look up that demo. I just basically talked about it. But when I need to use it, I'm sure it's going to be invaluable. So there we go. Clamps. And placement of tools. So there we go. I'm going to try to remember to tell you all about the 2018 tours or vendor events that we have. The Maybe House, the Maybe Farm, August 25th. The Carrot Festival, October 7th. And so far, this guy here is booked. I'm waiting to hear back about the Carrot Festival. But we're pretty sure we're going to do that. So these are all in local areas in my area in Schenectady. So we really haven't gone online and making a ton of online sales. If anybody has any advice on that, let me know. I think the important thing is to make things that you can move and don't have to pay a ton to ship, right? So these bandsaw boxes, well, that's kind of like the idea that I've got going on. I've got some fancier bandsaw boxes still. You can argue they're simple, and they're not all my ideas necessarily. I find them as I go through YouTube and so on and so forth. And I really got to get the two of them I made that were gifts. I want to make one so I can have to show you. So, and this is just the beginning, my friends, with the bandsaw boxes. You can just basically, whatever your imagination is, you can make these things, any shape, size. And the idea that you can just take your wood that's lying around, glue it up, right, like this here. Just glue up the wood that's lying around, and now I can make a bandsaw box out of this. You know, imagine just how cool and this is going to look when this gets turned into a bandsaw box. Really don't know what that's going to be, what it's going to be. This here was just fun to put together. I was making candle holders and various other things. I decided to go ahead and experiment, and this here is a drawer that pulls out and sits on this guy. So the creativity is cool. You just take your time and try to think outside the box. The bandsaw box. All right, take care, guys. Again, one video a week or two, and subscribe to our channel if you like what you see. And I've got 360 videos. More than likely, just do a search and you'll find that we may have talked about the subject that you're curious about, and we want to hear about what you guys are working on too. All right, take care. Have a great day, guys.